Hi everyone, this is Alex Eala.
I want them to see me as a good fighter on court. I want them to see me as someone whose feet are on the ground, just a hard worker, and I feel
like She did what? Alex Eala wipes out massive debt, trains with Nadal, and shatters a 26-year curse. Welcome back to Champions Tennis. Before we dive into today's absolutely insane story, we have to take a moment to celebrate something incredible. We just crossed 2,000 subscribers. That's right, over 2,000 tennis fanatics have joined our family, and we are over the moon. The energy you bring, the comments you leave, and the way you share our videos has been nothing short of amazing. We started this channel out of a love for tennis, the drama, the underdogs, and the champions who inspire us, and you've made it possible to keep doing what we love. From the entire Champions Tennis team, thank you. And if you're new here, buckle up, because today's story has everything. Generosity that'll make you cry, a historic victory ending a decades-long drought, a training session with a living legend, and a rivalry that will define the next decade of women's tennis. We're talking about the Filipino phenom, the golden girl, the warrior, Alexa. So grab your favorite snack, get comfortable, and let's dive into this wild ride. The story that has the entire internet in shambles right now starts with Alexa, known to her fans as a fierce competitor on the tennis court, the girl who fights for every point like her life depends on it, a southpaw with a devastating forehand that makes opponents pray for mercy. But what just happened off the court? It's bigger than any trophy she could ever win. Reports are flooding in, and the tennis community is absolutely losing it over what Alex has allegedly done. According to breaking news spreading like wildfire, Alex Eala has reportedly paid off around $700,000 in school lunch debt across 60 different schools. Let that sink in. $700,000. Not a typo. Not an exaggeration. A 20-year-old athlete has chosen to use her platform and earnings to make sure thousands of children don't have to worry about eating lunch at school. In an era where athletes are often criticized for being disconnected from reality, living in mansions, and forgetting where they came from, Alex's actions remind us what true championship character really looks like. In practical terms, Alex Eala's generosity means thousands of kids walking into school cafeterias every day no longer have to face the shame or embarrassment of unpaid lunch debt. Many of these children come from families struggling to make ends meet, parents working multiple jobs, dealing with medical emergencies, or simply trying to survive in a harsh economy. In the midst of that stress, school lunch debt is a heavy burden, and being hungry while trying to learn can be gut-wrenching. By paying off around $700,000 in debt across 60 schools, Alex didn't just cover a bill, she restored dignity, gave parents one less worry, and allowed kids to focus on being kids instead of worrying about whether they'd eat. The reaction was extraordinary. Students, parents, teachers, and administrators organized tributes, sent messages of gratitude, and reportedly moved Alex to tears. Can you imagine that? This fierce competitor, who stares down top 10 opponents without blinking, was reduced to tears by the sheer impact of her kindness. Moments like these show that all the training, sacrifices, wins, and losses are worth it when you can truly make a difference in people's lives. This is the kind of story that transcends sports, making Alex not just a champion on the court, but a hero in life. Yet, her compassion off the court doesn't translate to softness on it. At the 2025 Southeast Asian Games in Thailand, the pressure was immense, and the stakes were higher than ever because the Philippines lives and breathes tennis, and the nation's hopes were on her shoulders. The Philippines breathes sports: basketball, boxing, volleyball, tennis, and its people care deeply about their athletes, showing up with unmatched passion. But in women's tennis singles, there had been a painful 26-year drought. The last time a Filipino woman won gold at the SEA Games, Alex Eala hadn't even been born. An entire generation had come and gone without seeing a compatriot stand atop the podium with a gold medal. Walking into the 33rd SEA Games in Thailand, Alex carried all of that history on her shoulders. She wasn't just another competitor, she was the favorite. Ranked number 53 in the world, with Grand Slam wins under her belt and experience against the best players on the planet, everyone expected her to win. And that kind of expectation is a completely different kind of pressure. Being an underdog comes with freedom, but being the nation's hope brings intensity. Anything less than gold would be seen as a disappointment. That pressure can crush athletes, make them tight, or play scared, but not Alex. She thrived on it, transforming the weight of expectation into rocket fuel for her game. Alex dominated her way through the draw like an absolute assassin. After earning a bye in the round of 16, she began dismantling opponents with clinical precision. The real test, however, came in the quarterfinals against Malaysia's Shahomi Leong, an 18-year-old rising talent with nothing to lose and everything to gain. Leong came in hoping to make a name for herself by taking down the top seed, but Alex had other plans. She played with the poise and power of a seasoned professional, exploiting weaknesses, controlling the tempo, and never letting her opponent find a rhythm. The final score of 6-3, 6-1 wasn't just a victory, it was a statement. She had come to Thailand for one reason only, to bring home the gold medal. Then came the final, the ultimate test. Across the net stood Thailand's own man and Kaya Sawini, cheered on by a packed, passionate home crowd. The atmosphere was electric and intimidating, but Alex didn't flinch. She walked onto that court with ice in her veins and fire in her heart. From the very first point, she imposed her will on the match, her serve clicking and her game firing on all cylinders. Her forehand was exploding off the strings, her movement sharp, her control complete. The final scoreline says it all: 6-1, 6-2 in a gold medal match against the home favorite, in front of a hostile crowd. That wasn't just winning, that was dominance, a statement that echoed throughout the region. When the final point ended and Alex realized what she had accomplished, the emotion came flooding out. 26 years of waiting, 3 bronze medals in her debut back in 2022 in Vietnam, all the near misses, the pressure, the expectations, it all culminated in this one perfect moment. She had done what no Filipino woman had achieved in over a quarter century. She had won gold, ended the drought, and secured her place in history. For a player who had already achieved so much at a young age, this gold medal represented more than a trophy. It was validation, fulfillment, proof that all the hard work, sacrifices, and hours on the practice court had led to this moment of national glory. And just when you think Alex's story couldn't get any bigger, she went on to have an experience that every tennis player on earth would envy. A once-in-a-lifetime training session at the Rafael Nadal Academy in Mallorca, Spain, where she spent years immersing herself in the legendary culture of one of the sport's greatest champions. Despite being an alum of the Rafael Nadal Academy and walking the same courts where one of the greatest players of all time trains, Alex had never had a proper one-on-one hitting session with Rafael Nadal himself until recently. Footage emerged earlier this year, reshared by the Academy, showing Alex trading ground strokes with the King of Clay. And this wasn't a casual warm-up, they were really going after it. Imagine standing across the net from a 22-time Grand Slam champion, a 14-time French Open winner, the player whose poster probably adorned your bedroom wall growing up, and now he's firing his signature topspin forehands directly at you. The nerves alone would make most people drop their racket, but Alex thrived. In a new video released by the Academy, she shared her joy, calling it a memory that will last forever. But then she dropped a bombshell that has every tennis coach and player buzzing. This wasn't just a fun hit. Rafa was coaching her, giving her specific, technical advice, sharing insights she could apply to her game. Alex revealed that Rafael Nadal, owner of perhaps the greatest forehand in tennis history, gave her tips on her own forehand. Let that sink in. The man who has dominated opponents for 2 decades with that heavy, spinning, devastating shot is sharing the secrets of his success with her. It's like having Picasso give you painting lessons or Michael Jordan break down his fadeaway jumper. Knowledge money can't buy. Alex modestly called them small advices, but anyone who knows tennis understands that when Rafa Nadal gives advice, nothing is small. He's obsessed with details, a tactical genius who thinks 3 shots ahead on every point, with unmatched understanding of spin, positioning, court geometry, and mental fortitude. If Alex can incorporate even a fraction of what Nadal taught her into her 2026 season, the rest of the tour should be legitimately worried. This isn't just training, it's a masterclass, a passing of wisdom from a legend to a rising star. Moments like this transform good players into great ones and promising talents into true champions. And the timing couldn't be better. Alex is coming off a career-best 2025 season, having reached the semi-finals of the Miami Open and won her first ever main draw match at the US Open. She's already proven she can compete with top players and belong on the biggest stages. Now, add a technical upgrade from one of the greatest players in history, combine it with the confidence boost from winning SEA Games Gold, and you've got a recipe for something truly special in 2026. The women's tour better be ready because Alex Eala, with a Nadal-enhanced forehand, is a terrifying prospect. But tennis isn't all pressure and high-stakes competition, it also has a glamorous, thrilling side. Alex wrapped up her 2025 season at the MGM Macau Tennis Masters, A high-profile exhibition event where the atmosphere is electric and the competition remains fierce even without ranking points on the line. Exhibitions are usually laid back, with players trying new things and entertaining the crowd, but when two ultra-competitive young stars step on the court together, the friendly smiles remain on the surface, yet underneath both are hungry to win. Alex faced off against Russian teenage sensation Mira Andreeva, a matchup with history. The two had crossed paths before, most notably at the 2022 US Open Juniors, where Alex demolished Andreeva in the quarterfinals on her way to the title. But tennis is a game of constant evolution, and a lot has changed since that junior match. Andreeva has exploded onto the scene, now ranked number 9 in the world, competing in Grand Slam semifinals and going toe-to-toe with the tour's top players. Meanwhile, Alex, ranked 53rd, is grinding her way up the ladder. The ranking gap is significant, but anyone who knows tennis understands that numbers don't tell the whole story, especially in exhibitions. The match in Macau was a glimpse of what women's tennis will look like for the next decade. Alex fought hard and showed flashes of brilliance but ultimately fell 6-4, 6-2. Yet the scoreline doesn't capture the full story. The vibe on the court was incredible. There was mutual respect, friendly off the court yet fierce competitors on it, the kind of dynamic that elevates the sport. What made it even more impressive was that Andreeva had been sick just 24 hours prior, having withdrawn from mixed doubles, yet she showed up and played exceptionally well. In her post-match interview, Andreeva even joked after the match that she had to thank Alex for taking it easy on her. When asked about Alex, she didn't hold back, praising Alex's attitude and personality, high praise coming from someone who values mental toughness as much as Andreeva does. But the most exciting part came when she made a bold prediction that has everyone in tennis circles buzzing. She believes Alex is going to perform much better at the 2026 Australian Open. Drawing from her own early struggles, Andreeva recalled how nervous she felt playing Maria Sharapova on Rod Laver Arena and sees that same competitive fire and raw potential in Alex. She highlighted how much experience Alex has gained and confidently stated, "I believe she can do it much better," sending a clear message that the rising star's best moments may still be ahead. That kind of endorsement from Andreeva is massive, essentially the ultimate seal of approval. It's like having Serena Williams tell you that you have what it takes to win Grand Slams. It validates everything Alex has been working toward, and the timing couldn't be better. The 2026 season is right around the corner, packed with opportunity. So, what's next for the Golden Girl of Filipino tennis? The roadmap is clear and exciting. Alex is kicking off her 2026 campaign at the WTA 250 Auckland Open, starting January 5th, where she'll be one of the top seeds. No more grinding through qualifiers or being the underdog. She's walking in as one of the favorites, the player others see in the draw and think, "I don't want to face her in the first round." From Auckland, she heads to the Kwong Classic in Melbourne, one of the most prestigious exhibition events in tennis, continuing a season that promises to showcase just how far she's come. For decades, the Kwong Classic has served as the ultimate warm-up for the Australian Open, with a list of champions that reads like a Hall of Fame roster. Getting invited is a big deal. It's recognition as one of the top players in the world and another chance for Alex to test her game against elite competition right before the first Grand Slam of the year. And then comes the moment everyone has been waiting for: Sunday, January 18th, the Australian Open. For the first time in her career, Alex Eala will compete in the main draw without having to go through qualifying. She's in. She's earned her spot. After 3 attempts in 2023, 2024, and 2025 where she fell short in the qualifiers, those losses that once stung are behind her. She walks through the front doors of Melbourne Park with her head held high, armed with a career-high ranking, a SEA Games gold medal, confidence gained from battling the world's best, and a forehand upgraded by Rafael Nadal himself. The Australian Open has been her white whale, and now she's ready to conquer it. If 2025 was her breakout season, proving she belongs at the highest level, 2026 is shaping up to be her takeover season. She has all the pieces in place: the ranking, the experience, the confidence, and the tools to dominate. Alex's confidence is sky high after winning SEA Games gold. The technical improvements from training with Rafael Nadal are locked in, and the mentorship and belief from Andreeva are fueling her drive. Everything is aligning at exactly the right time. We've watched Alex grow from a promising junior into a legitimate force on the WTA Tour. She's fought through injuries, endured the brutal grind of the professional circuit, and handled the immense pressure of representing an entire nation every time she steps on court. Through it all, she's remained humble, gracious, and committed to using her platform for good. The school lunch story is proof of that. She could have focused solely on tennis, and nobody would have blamed her, but she chose to make a tangible difference in thousands of lives. That's what separates good athletes from the truly great ones. The understanding that sports are temporary, but impact is forever. Heading into 2026, the questions are tantalizing. Can Alex make a deep run at the Australian Open? Break into the top 30? Win her first WTA title? Face off against Mira Andreeva again, this time with even higher stakes? Can she dominate regional events while climbing the global rankings? The possibilities are endless. One thing is certain, Alex Eala is no longer just a prospect or a player with potential. She's arrived. She's a threat. Every player in the draw must prepare for her. And we'll be here covering every moment, every match, comeback, forehand winner, and emotional victory, because this is exactly why we started Champions Tennis. To celebrate players like Alex, who compete with heart and soul, carry themselves with dignity, and inspire everyone who follows the sport. Oh, here's where you, the Champions Tennis family, come in. Let us know in the comments what you think about everything we've covered. What's your prediction for Alex at the Australian Open? Could she make a quarter-final run? Were you as moved by the school lunch story as we were? And seriously, how incredible is it that she got to train one-on-one with Rafael Nadal? Drop your thoughts below, and if you're riding with Alex all the way, comment Team Eala, so we can see how many of you are on this journey with us. Second, and this is huge for the channel, smash that like button. It takes 1 second but makes a massive difference, helping us reach more tennis fans who will love this content. Finally, if you haven't already, subscribe to Champions Tennis and ring the notification bell so you never miss an upload. We just hit 2,000 subscribers, but we're not stopping. We want to build the biggest, most passionate tennis community on YouTube, and every single one of you matters. Thank you for watching, for celebrating Alex with us, and for supporting the channel as it grows. We've got more profiles, breaking news, and in-depth analysis coming your way. The 2026 season is about to be wild, and we'll be here for every moment. Until next time, this is Champions Tennis signing off. Keep chasing your dreams, keep supporting the athletes who inspire you, and remember, champions are made not just by what they achieve, but by how they lift others along the way.